Do you want to go for this one to start with?
Well, I just, I guess it was really. I just want to go back in time here a bit. Hold on a sec. I got my DeLorean here. I don't know if you guys can see it with Doc Brown, but I have an old action
Whoa,
figure. I
whoa!
don't know if you guys
Still,
can see that.
still in the box. Look at you.
Yeah, it's a bit. It has dust on it, but yeah, it's my DeLorean. I went back in time. My brain just did. Um, I remember when
Nice.
there actually was just demo discs. I feel like
Yeah.
betas are kind of becoming more or like it's a misnomer, I feel, the word beta because I feel like it's more of a demo, but then you don't see too many like if you go on to the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Live Store, um I don't see as many demonstration discs or just in general as often. There's still time and time again they're there,
Hmm.
but I feel like yeah, betas are really becoming more of demos, and sometimes even paid demos, for that matter. We've been seeing
Yeah.
for, I really think it was last generation where we started seeing like pre-order now, get the exclusive.
Wait, Dorian.
Um,
Dorian, I keep cutting you off, but I'm sorry about this, guys. We have source options right now. I don't know why.
oh sweet,
Ref-
refresh,
refresh them dudes. Oh my
refresh.
goodness.
Well, maybe it didn't automatically do it for me, I guess.
Oh my.
Oh, I don't have the thing playing. That's why I had it paused.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, my stream thing froze when I held Doc Brown in the car.
Nice. Sauce. We got the sauce button, guys.
Yep.
Take advantage of that. I'm sorry, Dorian. I had to break the whole show
Oh
just
no,
for
it's
that.
all good.
Somebody
All
said it in
good.
chat, and I was like, "What?" Go ahead. Finish your
All
thoughts.
right. Yeah, I just remember the days when things just used to be demos. Like I remember the original PlayStation magazine. You get a demo disc or Xbox demo disc like that. I remember just going to the stores and just get demo discs. But I feel like games, these betas, I think they're kind of used, especially these multiplayer games. I don't see too many single player betas. You guys see that single
You really
player beta for
don't.
this
Not a
game?
lot.
I feel like I believe the main purpose is not. I guess it's to find low. A beta is for finding fixes and. But as of late, I feel like they're being kind of used in a way, like a misnomer of a word of a demo. But then we're paying for demos these days. I see like pre-order now, get the Black Ops 3. I don't know what editions they have available. Okay, I'll use the old like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Get the hardened edition and get the exclusive thing and then get a beta code or something.
Hmm.
Um I know a few people do this. B-Boy was telling me that some people put like a pre-order of like $5, get the code, and then they're like, I don't want this game anymore. So they don't want the pre-order, so they take the pre-order back and they have the code still. But um yeah.
That's
Uh
terrible. That is
yeah.
awful. Oh my
That's
god, dude! There's always a workaround, dude. My mind doesn't work like this. I don't get
Like
it.
I
yeah.
like I don't know with Black Ops 3. Like I just did the $5 down just because I didn't have enough to pre-order the full game, and then like a couple days after they let it out for everyone for free
Yeah,
that has a PS4. So I'm just like, what the heck did I just pay $5 for if I could just get it for free?
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, like betas, I remember my first ever beta that I partook in was actually a PS3 game. It was called Warhawk. Um I think it was not a pre-order. It was back in the day. I think I used to call Raw Gaming knows it. He was a part of it. It was called PlayStation Official PlayStation Underground or something. Some like exclusive club. I forget what it is. And sometimes you get like a code like, "Hey, do you want to partake in this beta and see how it goes?" And it wasn't that too many people that partook in it. Whereas these betas now, but I felt like you had direct communication with the developers, right? When you're doing these betas by chatting through the official PlayStation forum
Hmm.
and discussing what things you like to invest. But now I feel it's like, you know what? We're just gonna call this a beta instead of a demo anymore. Go try it out. we'll test out the servers, see if there's bug fixes. Let's just give it to the public. And as much as that's a good way to let people know your brand and what you're selling, what game you're doing. Obviously, business has shown that it has been successful, especially like Call of Duty games. Those continue to sell like hotcakes. Um, but at the same time, I don't want to knock Call of Duty, but I feel like there hasn't been so much improvement to the game, or maybe the feedback to make significant improvements. Again, you don't want to break what's not broken, but well, I remember with Warhawk, the community and using PlayStation Underground, letting people know exactly what's shaken, the communications with the developers themselves, and they would take the feedback, whether positive or negative, and to improve on it. And well, I just everyone's looking for those codes. I want some beta codes.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, go onto a stream. Want those codes. That's what I've been seeing a lot. As much as it's great to do that giveaways, I don't mind that, but I just feel like, or even games, like games themselves, like Twisted mentioned, like DayZ is still, is it alpha or beta now? I remember when it first when it first came out as an early access game, I got about a month after, and I don't know if it's still considered closed alpha, closed beta, whatever the status on that game is, but a lot of these, I guess this kind of ties in their Solstice, because you're seeing these early access games coming, especially on PC, which maybe will make their way on console. I could see game developers just, hey, yeah, it's gonna print us money, let's do it. Early access games, um, and then some games just, I don't know, they just take years to develop. And I know a lot of these AAA games, they're in development for about 3 years. Look at The Last of Us. Look at the Uncharted games.
The
Metal
Forest.
Gear. This game,
The Forest.
yeah. I mean, a lot of these AAA games that don't get betas, they've been developed for a long time, and then you have these in development titles, again, indie development teams, developing all these great, cool ideas. But
What's the other
uh,
big game that?
I just,
What's it called? Star Citizen.
yeah, Star Citizen, that's been in development for some time, and they're in
Yep.
independent
And
indie title
actually,
there.
actually started
Being
off as a kick,
crowdfunded big.
started off
Yep.
as a Kickstarter, and it's there. Like you can log on and do it, but everything is not there. You know, you can't do everything because it's not in the. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, I feel like just some games just come out if they are a beta, literally. Like half-baked features. Um or since the last podcast, time has passed by, but Batman Arkham Knight on PC, absolute mess. Probably one of the worst PC ports ever developed on PC.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's bad. Um and they haven't still fixed it. It's been over 2 months, and I know that's not an indie title. That was a AAA title, and I feel like with these pre-order stuff going on, and as much you get these cool things. Let's say I won't knock it. Sometimes you do get some cool stuff, but I feel like a lot of these first like month of games, they're in the beta phase. They just greenlight it. Like, hey, you know what? It's kind of beta. We'll release it kind of broken, and then we'll fix it later. Mentality.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Because I mean, now they're dumping millions of dollars into production, and it's like, hey, it's time for some return. You know, that's what I think. It's so quote unquote easy, I guess, to release a broken game and fix it on. Keep working on it.
Mhm.
At least people will buy it. They'll be pissed because it's not working right or whatever, but they bought it and then eventually get fixed, and those people are like, okay, good, they finally fixed it. I'm happy. You know, it's kind of like the mentality everybody has now. It's just you almost expect for the new game, especially when there's multiplayer involved, for it to not work.
Yeah.
servers are gonna crash when everybody's trying to log on. There's gonna be some glitches, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. You nailed it. A lot of these multiplayer games, multiplayer centric games, they come out, you know, like they're a bit broken. They come out like glass, and this small thing just starts to shatter things, and then they gotta repair it, and it's always kind of a I think it's always a bit of a disappointment. A
Yeah,
few months later, then it turns out to be more. They smoothen things out, but
yeah. It's kind of like trying to fix like you said, a broken glass with like scotch tape, dude. They're like, this is wrong. This, it's all over the place. And I can remember, like, eh, used to be beta testing was like something like super secretive, like nobody ever got to do this. And now it's just like, you get on Twitter and it's like, oh, here's some beta codes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like it used to be like like I can remember the first beta that I ever got, and I signed up for because I thought that'd be the coolest thing ever. Not to only see the game and see the progress that they made, but every time I do a beta, I actually send all the bug reports. I take my time because I know what I'm doing. I know what a beta test is for. It's not for
Mm-hmm.
me to. Sure, I get to see the game, but it's not all about playing the game. It's to help the developers. And if you play the beta, and you don't actually, if you see a bug and you don't actually report it, you're not helping. You're not helping. I'm gonna get real close. You're not helping. So, um, and now it's just like I said, it's just so easy to get into a beta.
Yeah.
And then what happens is they'll release a string of numbers, and then they'll let people play. And then what happens is people will stop playing the beta, and then they'll turn out some more keys, so people will keep logging on. And you used to not have to do this. If you ever got a beta invite, you played it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Battlefield 3, when I first built the PC that I have now, when I first, well, I've kind of made some changes and upgrades along the way. But anyway, it was really like top tier for the time. So I was signing up for all the betas, and I was getting all the invites because when they go to betas, they find those people with those really good computers. They find those people with the minimum requirement computers, and everybody that's in between. Good luck. That's all I got to say. Your best luck in getting to a beta is have a really good computer or one that will barely run the game, and they want to see the differences of what your computers can handle. But I got into Battlefield 3 Alpha, the beta. I got into the ESO beta. I got into some Warcraft betas, the StarCraft 2 beta. That's that one came later, but the StarCraft 2 beta. And then I got StarCraft 2 beta again, the expansion that's about to come up. Some of the WoW expansions. I was getting beta invites left and right,
Mm-hmm.
and I was playing them, dude. Loved it. I did the beta for the Star Wars MMO too when it came out, and I was that real beta tester. I'd get something's not working right. You had a little button that you could click on the beta test, and then, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is not responding correctly. Whatever. You send in the report to help, because you want this game to be good. If you're beta testing it, you want this game to be good. Either you're trying to, at least check it out a little bit. Because let's really get down to the nitty gritty. Yes, you get to play the game before it's out, but if you're really not doing anything to help it, then you're just don't play it, man. Just don't beta. That's my feelings. It might be kind of harsh, but you're not helping. You're not helping. Do the bug reports. They need the feedback.
it would be funny, like, if the developers themselves like, wow, we have a lot of broken things in this game, and then community's like, no, it's perfect, keep the broken, it's good, we want broken, we pay for broken,
Yeah, it's all
broken
good.
is love, broken is life, something like that. I see that Twisted mentioned about the I was actually invited to partake into the Star Wars Battlefront, the new EA game, um by Dice. Um, I think it was back in June or July. I forget it was alpha. I didn't partake into it. The reason why I didn't partake in it is because in their disclosure they had a non-disclosure agreement saying you're not allowed to share this with anyone. Like, oh, bummer. So that's why I
Yeah.
didn't stream it. Some people did. They got their channel taken down, which is, if they read it, they should have. But shame on them. But anyways,
They will take your channel down quickly if you try to do this.
yep. I felt that like I wanted to partake in it, but I said, you know what? I won't. And unfortunately, well, since that, I don't have any opinion on the game so far. I just hope the game is going to be good. Hope the people that found bugs will be able to report it. If things are not balanced or jumping's all weird, or I heard flying was a bit funky right now. But yeah, literally having people test things out, because if the basic notion of beta testing is to make sure things are running smooth, testing out servers, make sure the gameplay is smooth, crisp, responsive. But if the community said, you know what, this controller, when I jump, it takes like 2 seconds to jump, and it's not supposed to take that long, but it is, and they keep that in the game, well, people didn't report that, and it's kind of a bummer. Maybe there'll be an outcry later, but like I said, um, especially with these AAA multiplayer third person or first person shooter games, that um, those are definitely the most popular betas that you see, and you'd hope that they improve the game. And I did see that Simply was saying that they have been taking notes. Treyarch has been taking notes, and I think that's still a reputable company within Activision. Treyarch, they've developed some really good titles, but just knock on wood. Like I said, a lot of these games seem to come out broken, and it takes a long time. And I know Jokers doesn't like it, but Batman is broken on PC. All the effects should work. You can't even run the game at 60 frames per second unless you do a modified INI file change. But in their next patch, they're saying they're bringing all the features that should be in the game by day one. So they're basically bringing the game to day one, but it's taken them 2 months to do that. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, betas. I just hope games continue to be developed. Like, one company I think that does a really good job, if they're going to do betas, I'm sure they have, but Nintendo, they don't like to publicize that type of stuff. But you see how well Mario Kart more or less plays. You see how Super Mario Bros. Plays. Legend of Zelda. These games don't need like day one or a couple hundred patches to make it work right, you know? You just see that, whereas PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, usually there's a day one 4 GB update, rip internet there. So
Yeah, and everybody's trying to download it, so it takes forever to download the patch.
Beta for Black Ops 3, I wanted to freaking punch someone. It was 12 gigs.
oh wow,
I'm just like,
Yeah.
it took me 4 hours to download it. I'm just like, why 12 gigs for a freaking beta, and it's taking me 4 hours to download this? I was just, I think I took a nap, and then I came back because I didn't want to sit there.
I remember, dude. I was in your stream when this happened,
I was just, it was
and
ridiculous.
Wiz was like, "You know what? I'm stopping the stream. I'll let you guys know when it's through downloading. See you later."
I'll be back when it comes back, guys. You know, we got 4 hours. You know.
Man.
yeah.
So what is so, Wiz? What is your take on the whole beta situation? Like, just in general.
I just think that it's too, I don't know, public, I guess. It's not as, it's not as confident. No, not confidential. I don't know what the word I'm thinking of is, but it's not as, like, I guess I'll say secretive for lack of a better term. It's not as secretive as it used to be. Like, you can literally get a beta for probably almost any game off of social media without having to pay for it, because people have extra links that they're just throwing out there.
Yep.
Like that's not really helping the cause to actually help the beta improve to where it's not broken when it actually comes out.
It's,
Like I think one of the biggest bust games this year was probably the Master Chief Collection. I didn't buy it personally, but
uh,
I know Jimmy bought it, and he said that it was just so bad when he wanted to play it. There was just so many broken things about it that I wouldn't have wanted to deal with it.
anytime this game has been mentioned a handful of
Craig,
times on this show throughout past
Bill.
episodes, and every time it gets mentioned, there's just a big ass groan that comes across everybody. It's like, oh my god, we wanted this to be good, and it wasn't. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's really that all I really had to touch on is that it's just not. I feel like it's just I can't think of the word. It's just not as
Yeah, it used to be like a closed kind of thing that
yeah.
I never knew anybody that I heard about Bay. It's like it's like the Bigfoot. You heard about it, you never saw it. Type thing. I'm with you, man. I feel the same way. Now it's just whatever. Anybody can have it.
Yeah. I mean, I think H1Z1 is in alpha right now. I don't even think it's reached its beta stage. And they have like their little things here and there, but it's still like a really good game for it being in alpha. If it hasn't even reached the beta yet, I don't know.
Yeah, The Forest is another game I mentioned, and it was an early access game. You had to pay for it, and it's still in alpha. But they update this game every week. They add something to it. Um, it's cool. I have it. I would like to see the final product, but it's still playable at its current state right now.
Hmm.
Uh, but it's a survival. You crash on an island and you got to chop down trees, and there's like cannibals. I don't know if you've seen the game. It's like
Oh yeah.
it's like a survival type thing. Um, they're adding stuff, different things that you can build and whatever. But in its current state, it's good. And to see, so a early access game versus a beta to me is completely like way different. Um, you know, yeah, because the Forest, I think I gave like $20 for it. I'm like, whatever. It's $20. If it's terrible, oh well. But it's playable, dude. It's fun.
hmm
I still play it. I haven't
I'll
streamed it in a
say
while,
this
but
too. I would say some of it's a mixed bag. Not every game's the same when it comes to development and stuff, but some of these early access games that come out, they're actually a lot more playable than these AAA titles that come out. They have the full back publisher, have everything should be good day one. You'd think so. You get like a 12 gig whopping update for let's say ESO on the console, and it just goes poop. It's like, what do you do, right? It's just you spent $60, or in Canada, it'd be $70 for a game that it's expected to be fine. That's not cheap. Games are expensive.
yeah, nowadays they are.
I remember back the cheapest games, if I remember, were probably like 29, 39 maybe ish, like Nintendo 64, PS1, PS2. I think it was like 49, something like that. But anyways, um, you buy what you get. You get what you're paid for. So if you're paying, like I bought H1Z1 for $10. Um, am I getting my money's worth of it? Yeah, it's fun playing those battle royals, or just the normal mode. Some funny things going on. DayZ. I wish I could enjoy it a bit more. Usually just die within the first like 5 minutes, or just running around. Which I don't know anywhere to go, stuck in the forest. But you kind of know what you're getting into with early access. Like I said, I feel like some early access games are doing a bit better than just, oh, we're gonna have a full-fledged game come out, partake in the beta, play the beta. Beta seems fine. Play the full game. Broken. Why wasn't this seen in the beta? What did they do? Why you do this? Oh,
Yeah, because in all honesty, like beta is a true beta should be at a point to where like you're really close to launching it, but you're fine tuning everything. The point of playing a beta is really supposed to be to try to break the game, right? But to see if something will go wrong. But it should be close to finished, and nowadays it's not the case. It almost looks like an early alpha version of some of these things coming out. It's strange, man. I don't know. Um, so I don't know,
Yeah.
man. It's difficult because like you can have and like I understand things happen like beta, like, they took all the things and fixed all the major things. There's going to be a few small glitches here and there they'll fix later. You launch the game, and then it becomes different somehow when it gets out to the public. Things happen that are unexpected, like within the game. Like, oh, well, we never saw this in beta. How does it's weird. Technology is like that. It's weird sometimes. But it shouldn't be some of these betas that are coming out, quote unquote. I'm gonna do this beta, air quote. They're not really betas, man. To me, they look more like alphas. You know, so some of the testing game mechanics for the first time in a new game versus having an almost finished game. They just get on social medias and just it's almost to me it's almost like a ploy. Like, let's get some early hype for this game. We announced it like a year or two ago, whatever. Kind of early hype. Oh, I get to play the beta. You know, I don't know, dude. It just seems like it's going in the wrong direction. If they're not really doing a beta test anymore. Not really. That's my take on it.
Yeah. Watch Dogs.
Wow.
Watch Dogs. Yeah, that game. I don't know if there was a beta for the online, but that game changed a lot from when it first was revealed, and things were changed because of hardware specs and stuff. But I know I've spoken about this in the past on past podcasts, but that game there
That's
overpromised and overpromised and underdelivered.
that's another
Um,
groaner, dude. That's another groaner. But stay tuned though. Stay tuned because of the developers that came straight out of their mouth. Watch Dogs 2, man, is going to be everything that Watch Dogs 1 should have been. Eh. We'll wait and
well,
see.
I can see redemption for that Ubisoft, because I remember Assassin's Creed 1. Um, I thought the story was interesting. What was going on? That's what kind of kept me interested. But the game was kind of repetitive. Going through, oh, I gotta sneak up, hear this guy, what he's talking about. Oh, I better steal his little item.
Yeah.
I have to kill this guy. Oh, then I can actually see and find the person you need to assassinate. Whereas the second one, it really branched out. I thought it was a lot better. But yeah, I'm interested. I do hope games, like, as much as uh, gaming, a lot of these AAA titles, for the most part, like, I feel like Metal Gear, it's gonna be one of those games that I think it's gonna be overall fine. There's probably gonna be some bugs, but um, just from the history of what they've developed in the games and the quality, um, that kind of throws a bit of a like thumbs up, hoping that'll be fine. But once you've been once bit, twice shy, like Ubisoft, it's like, oh boy, get ready, guys. It can be a good one, or it's gonna have like patches, and it's gonna be it plays like a beta, or it should have been fixed, or it should have been tested somehow. But yeah,
Yeah, it's I don't know the current state. So it seems like I'm just gonna make a small observation here. It seems like the games like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, something that always it seems like every year they come out with a new game. This is
Hmm.
the ones that are prominent on the really the discussion we're having. Games that come out few and far between, like the Metal Gear. There's not a new Metal Gear every year. There's not a new, Well, there's a new MMO every year, but the same company doesn't put out a new MMO. They might do expansions or whatever, but it's not a brand new game. It seems like they have more time, and they're not under really. Oh, we got to get to work now because we got to put put the game out in 10 months or whatever. We gotta wrap this project up. They're not under those time constraints, and those people are used to seeing those Call of Duties coming out every year and whatever else. Battlefields and stuff like this. All the ones that are considered AAA titles from these big companies. But the smaller companies who do well when they put out games, but take longer to put them out, they don't seem to have as many problems. Like you said, Dorian.
Mhm. Yeah, like the next Naughty Dog game, the Uncharted 4. There'll probably be some like technical hiccups, freezing, just the normal stuff, but it's not gonna like, oh, this game can't be played, or its frame rate's dropping to like 1 frame per second, or um, things like that. But yeah, it'll anyway. This I mean, I know this console generation, it's a lot of the developers have been saying it's the closest to we've seen like a PC development cycle when it comes to gaming development, and which supposedly means it's a lot easier to build and make things easier and port games and stuff. But that
Right.
remains to be seen. I keep on going back to Batman, but that game has gotten so much flack. Some people like I'll probably would say some people didn't even notice it had issues. They just picked up the game and it came with their graphics card and just thought it played fine, which is fine. But if you spent like let's say $1,500 $2,000 in your gaming PC and it's running worse than the console counterparts, you would hopefully expect a bit more. At least I do, Um, but
Definitely.
Just hopefully, as the years go by, people actually recognize the betas for what they are and just hope to improve it instead of just thinking like, oh, I'm gonna play this game before it actually comes out. And people that like don't have the beta, I'll just give them like a free code or anything, or just put it out there on social media to give them a chance. Like that's not necessary. That's not what it's for. It's to help
Yeah.
improve the game for that when it does come out. All the things that are broken in the beta aren't broken anymore.
True. Because okay, I realize it's different for like console betas, but like for PC betas, like when I have to sign up, I have to go in, I have to fill out all this information. I have to upload a file that contains all my computer specs. Like they're looking at stuff for PC, betas. See what kind of system you're running, what kind of processor you're running, what kind of video card you're running, whatever. And they actually want to test on those machines to see what happens. They want people with different, I got Radeon graphics cards, and they're going to want somebody else with similar specs to mine, but have a NVIDIA,
mhm.
graphics card. Those they look at, but the console ones, just gonna, everybody's PS4 is the same unless they hacked it or whatever. So give beta testing to all the people. I don't. Man, it hurts my feelings. Ugh. Stop it. Stop it. Um. Yes. So. So yes. AAA. Big name people, get your stuff together, man. We're not happy with your beta testing. Uh, any closing thoughts on the betas?
Yeah, pretty much you hit the nail on the head there, Sulfus. Just, hopefully the input that's sent in and like if it's broken, let them know it's broken. Don't just, you know, um, if you're like, I wish there was some sort of way that it is by a simple click. Like I think Twisted, or actually you mentioned there's Sulfus, like a way that you can just say, all right, this thing's busted here. I don't think when you're doing like a PS4 beta, you can like, in games, like bring up the options and say, hey, this, type out a bug. Can you? I don't know. Like this is what's happening in the game. Seems broken. I
Yeah.
don't know.
When I
Maybe worth looking into. Worth
when I did the beta testing for the Star Wars MMO, like every time you completed a quest, a survey would pop up. You know, were there clear directions on the quest goal? Whether it's like 3, 4 little questions every time you completed a quest. Like that is the type of feedback that they need to know when you're beta testing. If you're gonna beta test, if you're gonna download that beta, at least you should at least do the justice of give some kind of feedback if you're gonna take the time and play that. I'm talking to all you peoples out there with them codes, Can I has mod? Um, at least give feedback, man. Because if you're that one that doesn't that plays the beta and doesn't say anything, and then buys it when it comes out and it sucks because it's broken, don't complain because you didn't try to help. That's all I can say. You know, it's that whole idea. You can't complain about politics, and I'm not gonna get into politics. I don't talk about this publicly, but you can't complain about politics if you don't vote.
True.
So, that being said, I'm personally I'm asking everybody if you do that beta test, at least give some form of feedback somewhere. You don't necessarily have to report on every little thing you see. If you do, that's great. If something is really game breaking, man, you can't have the attitude of like, oh, that's obviously wrong. Somebody else is going to report that. It might not be showing up on somebody else's side. Especially if you're in the PC beta. Like I said, somebody else has got a different graphics card. It's showing up fine for them, but it's not for you. You have to do that. You have to. It should be your duty for a beta tester. So yes, I mean that's somebody told me to preach on. Sorry, I got I got a little excited. But yeah, I mean, guys, we were have covered all the topics that we're going to talk about. We were running a little short staff tonight, but I still feel like we had a great time. It was a great show.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
We got source button in the middle of this cast. We have let's see. The last time I checked, I'll check one more time so I can be accurate. We are 1, 2, 3, 5. We are number 7. Yeah, we are number 7 on the list of gaming talk shows or whatever the title is. Yeah, gaming talk shows. Number 7 from the top. The last time I checked, we were being hosted by 9 channels, and we still are. So you guys are making this happen by coming in every month, every time we do a show. So definitely appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out with us. Again, VODs will be found on YouTube later tonight, early tomorrow morning. Special guest, Wiz, stopping on in. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And
Always a pleasure.
As always, any special guest that is invited on the show, you're always welcome to come back. We hope you had a good time. If you would, tell the people where to find you so they can come and check you out on the streams, and any shout outs that you want to do in closing.
All right. Well, my Twitter is right there at CallMeWizz with number 5. And then for my Twitch, the same thing as my name, twitch.tv/CallMeWizz. I mostly stream almost every single day. If not, if I don't do 2 streams, I usually do like one long one. Play CS:GO, H1Z1, Rocket League, Call of Duty. It's pretty much my main games for now until more games come out later in the year. But yeah, that's shout outs.
Awesome. And guys and gals in the chat, again, if you do not know that Wiz, hit that follow button. Check him out. Definitely fun times in his chats. He is much like everybody else has been on this podcast. He does carry on conversations with people in the chat, and very entertaining, and is not that streamer who doesn't communicate with chat. Dorian, my dude.
Well, Sulfus, again, thank you so much for running the show, production, keeping everyone in line, keeping us on topic. Thank you for having us on the show. Wiz, dude, so good to have you on here, man. Thank you so
Feels
much
good.
for tuning on in. Feel free to be on here anytime. Wiz
Definitely.
and the Wiz Nation, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for all being a part of this vodcast. This is number 10, right, Solfus?
Episode
This is
10 right
currently
now.
number 10. So, um, episode 11, hopefully sometime again soon. But episode 12, as Solfus mentioned, that would be pretty much the year, 1 year of vodcast hype. And I'm really looking forward to the next episode. But number 12, that's going to be a good one for sure.
Episode 12
To
is
that.
definitely, there's a lot of, yeah, I started planning episode 12 last month, guys. So normally to this point, we've done these a lot. I can do the work in generally 3 days of what I need to do to run a show now versus I used to take 2 weeks to do it. But I've been working since last month on episode 12. So it's going to be fun. But definitely tune in for that show. And then the next one we will announce as soon as we have everything lined up. But continue, Dorian. I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting Dorian off all night long.
It's all
I'm sorry.
good.
I'm sorry.
Guys, remember hashtag all the things. Hashtag all the things times. Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me, Solfus, on the show once more. And Craig, Bill, and Spirit Buddies, miss ya. Got all of that, Bill. Got all of that, Craig. Got all of that, Wiz. Got all of that, Solfus. And the great folks here. You guys can find me on Twitter with my Twitter handle, same as my Twitch name. But if you're not too sure, it's on the screen there. Dorian_D1990. And my Twitch URL would be twitch.tv/Dorian_D1990. You can catch me. Typically, I try to follow a schedule, but I got some other stuff going on right now that I'm currently obligated to attend. But definitely follow me on the Twitters to get notified, everything up to date. But I do my best to try to follow my schedule. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But regardless, Twitter, best place to keep in the loop what's going on. And hopefully we'll see many of you on the next podcast. And each time we do this, I'm always excited for the conversations where they will take us. And sometimes they go off tangent. Don't know. But it's always good. It's always good. But guys, thank you for having me here, there, Solfus, and Wiz. Thank you for being a part of the show.
Always.
And we
Not a
were short
problem.
staffed, but we made it. We made it work out.
Yes, definitely. If anybody out there is not following that Dorian D 1990, you should do so. Definitely a great guy, entertaining streamer as well. For me, everybody that follows me should be back to normal things. I'll stream again Wednesday night, and then I should be normally streaming on Friday night, but this Friday night I might have to go out of town, so check that Twitter. I'm easy to find at Solfus on Twitter, at Solfus on Twitch. Thank you once more, Wiz, for coming on in. Always welcome back if you want to come back. I hope you had a great time. Dorian joined the podcast on episode 4 and has been here ever since, so he had fun. Maybe Wiz will want to come in again. Shout outs again to that leader dog for allowing us to use their musics. And hope everybody out there has a good night. Check out them VODs if you missed the first of the show. They will be up on YouTube later tonight. And if you guys, as soon as the show is over, I am going to start trying to figure out who's going to be on episode 11. If you guys want any topics talked about, there is the OTA Twitter right there, AH_OTA. Hit us up. Or you can tweet at me, Dorian. Topics that you guys want to hear, man. It's always nice to get viewer input about things. So you guys are more than welcome. Even if it's an old topic and new news has come up that we've covered before and we can rehash it, I'm always down for this type of things. But again, you guys are awesome. I'm gonna roll the credits. Always, Dorian and Wiz, if you guys can hang out on Skype for just some moments. And thanks again for everybody being here. You guys have a great night. Later.
Bye.